Today we're going to continue on talking about Ming China. Yesterday we ended with the Zheng He. Today we're going to go do the rest of the dynasty. Okay, so talking about the economy. Earlier in this unit we talked about how China, because of their new technology, because of the champa rice that they brought in, that they were able to have less people being agricultural farm workers and more people going to the cities. We had the rise of urbanization. Things like porcelain, with the increased trade, are going to wind up becoming something in high demand, and there'll be even more trade of that. And we're going to see a lot of trade cities growing, particularly increase of trade with Europe and Japan at this time. Now, farming will still be important, don't get me wrong, but we're going to see many more cities and much more developing of economy. Now, things that are going to keep this up, of course, are crop rotation, so that we're constantly going and using the fields. If you have one crop growing in a field for a very long time, it sucks the nutrients out. But if you rotate your crops and leave a field fallow, you wind up having more nutrients stay in the soil, and it keeps fertile land so that you're able to farm more. One of the things they figured out that they could fertilize with fish, and this is something that we know that the Native Americans did as well. We're going to see more farming tools. We've talked about a lot of these things before, so we can go through this pretty quickly, but we know we're going to have a huge increase in the population. And of course we know more people equals more smart people, which means more technological advantages, which eventually lead to more food, which means more people. So, we know better farming techniques. Yeah, I have my circle of awesome down there. We're going to have that circle of awesome forever. Alright, here we just see some of the agricultural fields. It's kind of beautiful, rice paddies. I love them. In my dorm room in college, I had a nice field with beautiful rice paddies all over. I don't know why. Alright, so the Ming is going to be Neo-Confucius. However, we're going to have Christianity coming to China during this time. We're going to have around 300 Catholic churches at this time. The Jesuits are going to come in. You're going to read how at first they let the Jesuits in, and then Christianity is actually going to take a hold, and eventually they're going to expel all of the Christians. We're going to see more people learning how to read. That's literacy. And we know because they improved upon printing. They had the woodblock printing, and eventually they're going to be able to go and print tons and tons of writing. We're having encyclopedias being made. We see more technology spreading. At this time they go and they invent a cannon with 10 shots, which is going to be pretty revolutionary. Because you're not going to see things like that up until the late, I think, 1880s or so with Western technology. They invent the toothbrush. Yeah, it took a long time, but there we go. We have the toothbrush. We have blast furnaces to be able to create steel, porcelain, all that good stuff. We've already talked about a lot of inventions in our last week's study anyway, so let's keep going. Ooh, what do we have here? The Great Wall. The Ming are going to create the Great Wall, which we know it today. There's been a Great Wall since the Warring States period. Well, there were walls during the Warring States period. Emperor Qin Shi Huangdi is going to unify it together as the Great Wall. And each Chinese dynasty is going to build and expand upon it. And what we think of, though, the pictures we always see, that is going to be the Ming Great Wall. We're going to see lots of art, poetry being written this time. So there's going to be a lot of great Chinese culture, but it will come to an end. So unfortunately, we're going to have a corrupt government. Much like we had corruption in the Han Dynasty, we're going to see corruption in this. Plus, there are going to be natural disasters. We have the Little Ice Age happening at this time. We have an earthquake in Shanghai. Look at that. We think 800,000 people might have died in that. Think back to what we discussed right when we started back in this unit, what we talked about in 5th grade in our ancient history class. You should be thinking of the mandate of heaven, that natural disasters, these things, they're signs that the heavens are not pleased. Now, that means if the heavens aren't pleased, the ruler must not be virtuous. And if the ruler is not virtuous, the people are supposed to rebel. I hope you guys all said it and thought it. It's so weird being here and not with you all. So we have rebellion. And, I mean, the peasants, they rebelled too because they were paying lots of taxes. Harvests were bad because of that little ice age, making because of the colder temperatures, we don't have as much growing, so then there's less food. So then when your taxes are to give away the food that you have, you start starving. Also, we're going to have northern invaders. The Manchu are attacking from the north, just like how we had the Mongols before. Now we have the Manchu from the northeast going and attacking. And eventually, we have a situation where the Ming Dynasty is bankrupt because they're spending all their money fighting the Manchu. The peasants are bankrupt because they're constantly paying all of these taxes. Instead of being able to farm their fields, they're going off and fighting these wars, which they are losing. So the Ming Dynasty will end. So as the Manchu grow, the Ming become weaker. Now, so this happened in 1644. This artwork, it's very sad on the end. It is the final Ming emperor. He's overlooking the palace and he has hung himself on a tree. So, the Ming Dynasty of China ends, and it is going to be a dark time for China after this. We're going to have the Qing Dynasty, and we're going to see a lot of changes happening from that. But that's a story for another day. So that's our notes for the day. I hope you enjoyed learning about the Ming. I hope you have a great day. I miss you guys. I'll see you all later. Bye-bye.